Hey, Big D, it's so great to see you again. It's been almost 3 years since the VB23 finale. How has life been for you since leaving the Big Brother house?
Oh, Josh, everything has been good. Wow, it really has been 3 years. I just realized that. Everything's been good, man. Just been in the gym every day, working and recapping the Big Brother season, of course. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be talking to you.
Good, 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 good.
So these 3 years have flown by. But what has been the most challenging part of transitioning back to normal life after Big Brother?
Oh, wow. I would say the most challenging part is not what's the word? Like you once you do a competition show, you get like the competition bug sometimes. And it's hard when you kind of have to watch other people compete and you haven't got a chance to compete yet, especially when you come in second place. So that's really the challenging part of adjusting. But I have recently realized for the last 3 years, Josh, to be honest with you, I kind of fell out of love with Big Brother. I do recap Big Brother myself with Tiffany and Hannah, on the Heavy Crown Network and stuff. And for the last couple seasons, 24 BB Reindeer games and 25, I realized like, oh, there's something I don't like that like not helping me. And when I watch BB Reindeer games, it reminded me of why I fell in love with the show because I never was a live feeder. I was never watching the live feeds unless it was the wall comp. That was the only time. But usually I was always watching the shows. And I realized after these couple seasons of, covering it, because I used to just be annoyed. I used to be like, oh my God, I don't want to cover this shit. Like, I don't really care. Like, whatever. Because once you do it, it's like, because it's so long, you're like, come on, let's get to it. Let's get to it. And I realized this season so far, what I did going into the season and preparing myself mentally, I like muted all the live feeds. I muted everything that says Big Brother, Veto, HOH, house guest names, like anything that even the word house guests on Twitter and like anything that has spoiled on Instagram, and try to find that love again. And I have found that love again of me being able to sit in front of my TV, watch a show, and enjoy it 3 nights out the week. And I don't have to worry about getting on my social media and seeing so and so just had a fight in the backyard and they're thinking about making this alliance. And not like, no, I want to see a show that just I could put on, already put together. I'm good to go. So that's what I fell in love with now. And going into this season has been great.
So we recently met for the third time actually at Oz's premiere party in New York City. So how are you enjoying these events?
You know what? I love these events. I go to a lot of the Survivor events. I'm like that. I like to call it like Bryson Window Present slash Big D slash Jam Jam at this point. I love these events because it allows me to put a face to the name. And because I keep seeing a lot of, you and other people that have podcasts and fans of the show, it allows me to know like, okay, I know who this is now, but it also just feels a little bit like home. And I love checking in to see how people are doing. And I think after my season, I received so much hate. And so much like kicks in the face and all that type of stuff, and I still get it to this day, but I think people got the time to see who I was and get an opportunity to see like, oh, he's not this malicious, misogynist, hateful person that people think I was. So I also like to show up because I want to see people like who you are. And then when people are like, I'm XOXO315 on Instagram, I'm like, okay, I know who that is now. So it's good.
So I was able to chat with you and I met many other great alumni, but who are you excited to meet for the first time and catch up with?
I was so excited to see Mama Felicia. That was my first time meeting her. So it was so good to meet her. It was so good to meet Matt. Um, who else was I meeting for the first time? Really, it was nice to see Riley too. Blue, that was my first time meeting Blue, so I was so excited to meet Blue. So those are really a lot of those are the only people, and Jag I've met before, but those are the people that really did like give a good impression, gave me good vibes, and also knew how to I always believe in paying your respects. You know, like there's alums that I meet that like obviously are also legends, and I give them a lot of respect and also hype them up and show them love. If you come into place thinking that you like Beyonce and Jay-Z, or you know, thinking that you're too good to like kind of have a conversation with me or understand like, you know, the type of level I'm on, I ain't really got nothing for you. And you'll know it because I won't barely talk to you, and also I'm not impressed. That's just what it is. But I always believe in showing the people, you know, behind you who was on before you love. And I always do that. And even with the new players, I still show them love. But there's a couple people from that cast, you know, I'll just say a couple people from that cast I ain't really care for. So
So transitioning to Big Brother 26, who are your early favorite house guests this season?
oh, my favorite so far is Tucker. Tucker is my favorite. Tucker can get a plate at the cookout. Tucker is invited. I need to slide into Tucker's DMs at this point, you know. I think me and him can kind of work it out. I know because I'm just such a big reality TV person. I love Angela for TV. I don't care for Angela winning. I care for Angela providing me content so I can kick my feet and laugh when I'm watching the show. Um, I really like a lot of the players. The only player I didn't really care for was Lisa. And I think because Lisa just reminds me of someone who works in HR, and like I don't know. I just didn't really care for her. But there's nothing like, oh my God, like I hate her. I just don't care for her. It's just like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. And you know, I'll be respectful and keep him pushing. But she's not someone I'm planning on like, oh my God, like, you know, like hitting up and stuff like that. I don't really care. So everybody else is good in my book. Everybody else is good.
What did you think of the house guest decision to evict Lisa over Angela last night?
I actually think it was the smart decision. I always believe in getting out people that are competitive or people that can win stuff. It's just what it is. This is a game of Big Brother. I know some people are like, oh, you know, Angela might not win anything and she's going to be easy to take to the end. Yes, there's 750K on the line. You should always take the easier route and forget all that. Like, you know, you took the scapegoat or, you know, make the two strongest people at the end. Forget that. It's Big Brother. You need to take the people that you feel like you can beat at the end. You do not need to take the people that are going to give you a challenge or make you sweat even 10 times harder. So, no, I always believe in getting the people out that are competitive.
What about Matt? What were your thoughts on him?
I did like Matt. I did like Matt. But Matt was also, you know, I always once again, if you think about like my season, I hate to go back, but like getting out Travis, giving out Christian, getting out DX, getting out you know, Brittany, getting out Sarah, like all these people that are great at winning stuff is important. So I always believe in if you got an opportunity, and I don't want to call Matt a jock because he's not really the typical jock, but because of his body frame, he does have the jock body frame. I always believe in when there's a guy that looks like that, you always get them out.
Do you subscribe to the theory that Angela could be a production plant, having already appeared in Dr. Phil, The Price is Right, Let's Make a Deal? I could potentially see Mackenzie's America's veto power being what takes her out of the game, which I find a bit suspicious.
You say you think that the power that McKenzie has?
Yeah, so Mackenzie's power, she can take someone
Yes.
off the block, and then America chooses her replacement nominee. I could see potentially this week or next week, Angela's not on the block, Mackenzie uses her power, and then America nominates Angela, and she goes out of the game. That's how I could see her going out.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, maybe because I'm maybe on a different side of Twitter, but my
Mhm.
Twitter, I would say I don't see why would people want to get rid of somebody who's causing chaos and have it. I don't see why they would do that. Like you really have to hate, like you have to hate a player or don't like a player to really put them to make that decision. I don't believe that Angela is I guess a production plant or whatever, you know, everybody's saying. I believe that Angela is obviously a fan of the show. She could have been a recruit. We don't know. It could have been possible. But I definitely could see Angela applying for the show. And also I did a couple shows before Big Brother. So I applied and put a casting tape in. So I want to believe that Angela did the same thing, but she could have been a recruit. But I don't see Angela like production. Like, no, I don't see her doing that. But I'm entertained. Because let me tell you something. What happens every time, just like when Heisen went home, I get bored of the season. I need somebody to entertain me. I kept everybody entertained the whole entire time. I need someone who's going to entertain me because once this house start getting boring, then I'm checked out. I don't want to watch no more. Let's go to Survivor now.
Does anyone on this cast remind you of yourself or anyone else from your season?
Yes. Chemo reminds me of myself at times as of, he talked about, his dad not being able to come out to his dad before he died. And it hit me. I remember I was like sitting at my desk and I heard it and I just like it like hit me like a gust of wind. And I knew exactly what he felt like. And I didn't think anybody else has ever went through that. So to hear it on TV, it just really hit a lot. I think I feel like I relate a lot with Chemo right now. I don't know if he's as funny because I'm not like I haven't seen him do anything funny yet, but as of being that, a bigger person, being a gay man, like I can relate to that. Does anybody else remind me anybody else? T Court definitely reminds me of Ozza when she's wearing those glasses for sure. Uh no, I don't think there's anybody. Oh, Christian reminds me of Tucker, but not as like because Christian had a lot of energy. Tucker kind of can still turn it down a little bit, and he can still be like a little bit level-headed. Like he's not distracted, where Christian would be distracted. So that's the only thing I can really say. But I love that the cast is completely different. I'm very happy with this choice of the casting team. I know they had a little bit of trouble picking people, but maybe they should have trouble every season because when they have a trouble every season, they make a good cast. And I haven't really seen a good cast, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but just based on rewatching my season, talking to the fans, I haven't really seen a good cast mixed together since probably my season. So right now, I'm happy how this is going.
What did you think of the whole situation on Wednesday night's episode where they accused Angela when she said, "Oh, Cam and Chelsea and Cedric are working together"? What did you think of that whole situation? The cookout was brought up.
Yeah, so I actually I was talking about this last night with my co-host, and the thing about it is that Angela was not insinuating like all the black people are working together. I think Quinn, the way that Quinn planted it and the way that he was planning to plan it, I think he wanted that to kind of happen. Like was insinuating that and blew it up bigger than what it should have been. And maybe he didn't mean that in general. Um, I know it's hard for players, to after what the cookout, plan to do, but I think players have to go into these games and understand you can't think that way at all because that's not the case. What we did was because there was never a black winner. So there was a black winner, then there was a female black winner, and then there was another POC winner. So I think we have to look at it wise that you can't look at it that way. If you look at a group of people, you should be able to point out that group of people thinking they're working together. Because if I saw that group of people in the hammock over there, I'd be like, what they doing over there? What's going on? Same thing. Because paranoia takes over in the game. So I just wouldn't, I think we just have to not think about those things and just play the game. Play the game. It's okay to point out a group of people if you feel like they all the same, if they're all the same color orange and you want to point them out because you feel like they over there scheming, that's fine. But we can't be so like sensitive to think like, Angela was trying to say that because she wasn't, that wasn't her thing.
The house guests were given the option to vote a 70th house guest into the game on premiere night. Would you have voted for Ansley to come into the game?
Ansley, you know what? I probably in that moment would. And the reason I would is just because of the sheer fact of why not? And I feel like knowing these games, something has to come with it because I would have been like, well, why would they have all of us here, but not this one person? I would be like, sure, whatever. It's only week one. So I would have said yes. I know moving and just in future games, if there's ever a chance for somebody to come in, unless you voted them out, that's a different scenario. But if this is a fresh new game and they're like, hey, we got one more person, let them come in. Let them come in.
Did you ever think that the 17th house guest was going to be a real person? Because I thought it was.
When I saw it on the screen, no. I was like, that person's so fake. They're like, who the hell are they picking with this bright ass blue hair with these blue ass contacts, looking like a robot? Like I literally thought, like I really felt like I was looking at a robot. So I knew it wasn't a real person. I thought maybe it was gonna be a person that was gonna play from the diary room and be like an AI. We knew there had to been some type of AI type of twist based on everything we were receiving before the game started.
Well, I just meant like in the preseason, like they said there'll be a 17th house guest. So did you think going into the season that it would be a real person?
Yeah, I would have thought going into the house, if I was standing there or they told me, oh, there's gonna like you're talking about when we were found out there's gonna be a 17th house guest, I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be a real person. But once the girl popped up on the screen, I was like, no. Even at the premiere party, I was looking at everybody like, she ain't real. What? Like, no, I don't think. I think they really and I think they did that on purpose. Like it was just really too much. Like this blue sequence, like a leather dress, blue ass contacts, blue ass hair. I was like, they ain't no. Knowing the casting team, no, they ain't doing it.
Speaking of Ansley, what do you think of the AI theme this season?
I'm cool with it right now. I love the twist that, three people could be on the block. I like the fact that they still get an opportunity to try to take themselves off. I do appreciate that type of twist. It's nothing too extreme, nothing too severe. I like it. I think once we start getting down to more people, I'm excited to see how they're going to act when people do win and then come back and take themselves off. So that's the only things I can really say.
Who would you align with if you were in the house?
Um, I would definitely align with Tucker. I would definitely align with uh Chelsea. I like Verbena. I would line with Chemo because I like Chemo. Chemo's not the typical. He's not one of the other gays that probably would have got on my nerves. Like he's a gay that I would get along with. Because there's other gays I would have been like, no. Because once you put a sassy gay in there, we clashing instantly. But I like Chemo, so I would have said Chemo. Core would have been fine. I would have got along with Chelsea. Um, Cedric will be fine with me. I'm a little nervous because of his age, but he is the one thing I could relate with him with is the military part because I went to military school. I work with Marines and stuff like that. So I feel like I would be okay with him. But I feel like majority of the house, I think the only people that I really wouldn't align myself with would be Angela. Because I just feel like Angela is just too emotional for me. And then, Lisa, it would have been a chop with the glitter right there instant. And I would have got Karen from HR. That's what I would have got. I'm trying to think who else I would have never. I feel like I could be friends with Kenny, but I don't know what Kenny's gonna do. So I really like Rabina, Tucker, Takor, Chemo. I like Leah. But would I like Leah in the house? I couldn't trust her. I couldn't trust her. I couldn't trust her. Mackenzie, I like too. So I mean, I like a lot of them. I'll be honest, I like a lot of them, but I would say the top four would be Rabina, Tucker, Takor, Chemo, definitely. Because Quinn feels messy to me. I would look at Quinn and be like, "You too." Like I could tell just looking at him, he's too messy. But I mean, he's making good TV.
What's been the biggest surprise for you watching this season?
Oh my God, just how like everybody like how the biggest surprise to me is how Kenzie keep telling everybody about her power. I've never seen people just don't know how to STFU. I'm like, what are you doing? Like just shh, shh, Like, you ain't got time to buy. I'm telling you, you know how badly I was saying every week I was praying that I could get the power. I was praying I can get something. Because if I got something, nobody would have known. I'm telling you. I would have used it and nobody would have known. No, absolutely not.
Is there anything BB26 you want to talk about before we get into you and your season a little bit?
You said advice? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Is there anything else about your BB26 you want to talk about before we get into you and your season?
No, I think when it comes to BB26, just remember, I mean, only advice I have for them is when they get out the house, just take it slow. Realize there's going to be a lot of negativity that you're going to read, a lot of things you're going to be very sensitive to, and just remember it's just how it is, but it will play out. And stick by your family, your friends, your people that know you, and take the time to talk to your house guests, even if it's that you guys don't agree. Have those conversations because then it will allow you to heal. It's a part of a healing process because Big Brother is, all about lying, manipulation, and things like that.
So BB23, looking back on your season, is there anything you wish you would have done differently?
Oh yes. I definitely wish I would have went with my other speech that I had in mind. I wish I would have called out Xavier being a lawyer in my speech. And I wish I would have called out just saying in general, like all you guys are gonna vote for him because he won comps. But in reality, me and Xavier worked together this whole entire time to get here. So if we really want to be honest, we could split this 750K because every move that he made, we made together and talked about and what we were gonna do. So I think those are things like that. And then also just pin that he did let his number one ally, Alyssa, go and was willing to let her go. So I wish I would have been more of a savage at the end. And I think just I wasn't really big on talking to the cameras. I wasn't big on telling people what I'm doing and whatnot. Like, but I think not unfortunately, I think I got the funny guy edit, and wasn't taking as wasn't taken serious because I think my social game was just very like that's my way of manipulating people by laughter and fun, and yeah, I think that's the one thing I do regret is my speech. I think I was so sensitive because the questions I was getting from jury, they felt very like targeted. And I think it kind of threw me off. And then I was just so heated in the moment that I was like, I made it here. Like, I can't believe I made it here. And, Xavier, like, we did it together. Like, I wasn't really thinking about, like, okay, I now need to turn on Xavier. So that's my biggest mistake, but I'll never make it again if I ever get a chance. And I think I would just be even more cutthroat and not really care. I'd probably be like Angela causing chaos, just what it is. Or like Quinn,
We need
I
to
will kind of be like Quinn, dropping little seeds, causing chaos, and then laughing about it in my DR.
we need to talk about your eviction votes. You misspoke in a lot of them, saying Evo and other things that are not vote to evict. Was this all intentional, or did you generally keep messing up?
I would never answer that question.
Well, I think I saw the other day you had some like merch, Evo merch, right?
I have Evo fans that I made when I came out the house. I made them and they sold out right away, and people have been asking for them for 3 years. And I'm like, you guys got to give me a second because those things are not cheap. They're very good material, but they cost a pretty penny to get them done. So I don't know, maybe this later this year, maybe about a holiday, I might restock them and get them up again. But yeah, I mean, they are amazing. And I'm telling you, with the heat wave or whenever you're going on vacation, just got to be prepared, baby. You got to be prepared. So, but I would never answer that question because I actually like that nobody knows.
So something else we need to talk about is your competition prowess or lack thereof. Were you at any point throwing competitions, or were they just generally very hard for you? And do you think that they're harder to win for a bigger person?
So no, I definitely was not throwing. Oh, the only competition I threw was the one where we needed Claire to win HOH because I couldn't get I didn't want to deal with the pressure of Sarah Beth and Kylan down my throat of trying to keep Sarah Beth here and all that type of stuff and change the knock. So I was like, no, Claire has to win this, even though I had it and I had enough BB Bucks to make it happen. Um, but no, I never threw it. The comps were really hard as being a plus size person, being a bigger person. And the one thing I'm okay with, and people can say whatever they want to say, I'm glad I complained as much as I did. I complained constantly. I complained in DRs. I complained all the time because then I felt like after my season, the competitions change. I was looking at the BB 24 comps like, oh my God, musical chairs? What? Let me my bad ass would have said like it was just crazy, you know. And then I look at like the one HOH comp where they're like laying down and something's gonna pull them. I'm like, my big ass, nothing would have ever pulled me. Like, you know, it's just, but I'm glad that it did change. So I hope if there ever is an all-stars, I would love to come back. Or if they do a runner-up season, I think that would be iconic. And I would definitely come back ready to go because I feel like the comps would be more fair based. Because even I feel like look at some of the physical comps they've changed and done. They're a little bit more fair for others.
So one thing that people don't like about Big Brother 23 was they say that it was a steamroll. What do you think about people saying that? Because I personally, I don't think it was a steamroll. Because I think of a steamroll as Big Brother 22, where a seven-person alliance was the final seven, and they won every single HOH the whole entire season. The Cookout didn't win every HOH. So what do you think of the people who say it's boring because it was a steamroll?
You know what? I think people just have to understand that it is a game. We cannot control what people decide in that house. If it wasn't a steamroll competition because we had to, even when we didn't win HOHs, we had to still get the people that are not in our alliance to do what we want them to do, which I think is very great gameplay to do, you know, like, because it only took, if you think about it, it only took one time to have two of the cookout members on the block. Veto was not won by anybody that could take any of us down. And one of us are going home, and the plan is now done, right? So it takes a lot of skills, a lot of trust, a lot of manipulation, a lot of lying, a lot of strategy into play. Like I had to trust, even though I might not be getting along with someone in the alliance, I would have to trust that they are still making sure that I'm good while I'm sitting down here making sure they're good. You know, so I understand it's probably a little bit annoying because we understand people. I feel people want entertainment, people want drama. I think we still provided entertainment. I still think we had drama. Man, I was arguing with members of the cookout all the way up to the damn end of the damn season. I feel like no matter what, we were still providing. But that is how when you play the game, if you play it correctly and you're able to really kick some ass, it can work out in your favor. It really can. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell fans. I think fans need to understand like it's a great strategy type of game move. Is like that amount of people making it to the end is great. Never really happens, and it's just how it is. Because guess what? At some point in this game, if that Pentagon alliance right now for BB26 decide to really start doing things, they might make it to the end. And then what you guys gonna say? Oh my God, it was so boring because they steamroll. It's a competition show. Like, think about it. We see all these other competition shows. Take the challenge, for example. I don't mean to bring that up, but I'm taking for example. Usually the veterans on the challenge are always making it to the end. But you guys are not saying, oh, that's boring. I hate that. Yeah, so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I ain't mad at it. My alliance helped me get to the end. And I was able to get my ass in my alliance, having the connections I had, making sure I was set up to be at the end. And I called it from the beginning. I'm like, I'm going to make it to the end.
We'll talk about the challenge a little bit later. But speaking of the cookout, I still need this directly cleared up from cookout member. Who started the cookout?
We're still talking about this? Okay. So I went around to each of the players, besides Hannah on day one, and said, hey, Josh, me, you going to work together. And we're going to work all together, like all of us. Okay. I went around each one of them. They were all like, oh my God, yeah, great. Yes, of course, of course. Oh my God, there's so many of us. And this is where we're all moving in. And then, the next day, Tiffany did talk to Hannah. And then, Hannah was in the room and I had a conversation with her. Then later that week, Xavier came up with like the cookout name. And then after a while, me and Xavier were trying to talk to figure out how we're going to make this alliance work. But after Frenchie left, Tiffany was still trying to figure out how she's going to get us all to the end. And then she came up with the cookout plan, I think after Frenchie left, if I'm correct, or during that week or something, or after he left. Yeah, because I didn't have nobody. So it was after I left, after Frenchie left, and she came up with the cookout plan. So each of the members, we have done ET interviews, we have done our own podcast interviews, we have we have done everything to like let people know this is what happens. And yes, Big D did start the members of, hey, we're working together. Okay. Xavier came up with the name and Tiffany came up with the plan. And that's how it was executed. But I know people don't want to give me credit for anything, and that's okay, but I'm not going to sit there and let them try to tell this lie, because even the members of my own cookout have said it multiple times. They're like, they're tired of saying it. They're like, how many times you want us to say it? Like, what do y'all want? I feel like I gotta cut off an arm to like give to everybody. Here's my kidney. Here's my lungs. Here's my heart. Like, so hopefully that clears it up. It is now 2024. I don't know what else everybody wants from me. It's not, it's just what it is. Like, it's the one thing I wish I definitely should have said in my speech. I definitely should have added that into my speech, but I didn't know people were questioning it, because when I came out and we did the ET interview, Tiffany even said it out of her mouth. She's like, well, Big D came around to everybody and told everybody we're working together. Xavier came up with the name and I came up with the plan. It was a 3-person type of thing, and that's what it was.
So if you ran Big Brother 23 back, if the 16 of you went into the house again now, how do you think the season would go?
Okay, if I ran Big Brother 23 back,
Yeah.
like again, like this mean like are we still not like are we talking cookout made, not made? Like you gotta give me a little bit more content.
Like right now, if the 16 of you went into the house right now, how would it go?
Oh my God, it would be so chaotic.
Because
It
you
would
guys
be
wanted to do the cookout probably, right?
no,
So
no. I think certain members of the cookout would still work together, but I don't think that it wouldn't go the way that we think it's going to go at all. I think no matter what, I'm still making it far some type of way in the game. But depending on if we're using the comps that they have now, things could be a little bit different. But no, absolutely not. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Oh, just thinking about it, it just makes me just so like, oh, because you got to think about it. All these people that just got eliminated by us, we're targets number one. Like they're gonna be like, no, we're getting them all out. Boom, boom, boom. Quick, 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 just like how they did us. And then it's like, okay.
so who do
Yeah.
you think would win?
Probably DX, probably Alyssa.
I think
Uh
Claire would be my pick.
I was gonna say possibly Claire. There's a lot of options. Um, just depending. Uh, I'm trying to think who else. I mean,
Who's the
yeah,
first cookout member that
a
you would
lot of
come
them could
for?
possibly, a lot of them could possibly win, but I mean, it's just going to be the roles reverse. Just what it is.
Who's the first cookout member that you would come for?
What? Now she over here trying to get me in trouble.
Well, you said
Um,
you wouldn't work together, so
it definitely would be Xavier or Kylan. Probably Kylan first, then Xavier.
because Xavier was the
Then
winner of the season, so he'd probably have a big target on his back.
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Like putting both of them up, get them out the way. But the thing about it is like it's hard because going back into the house, like it, if we're probably all going to be targeted, I don't think we really want to work together. But if we're forced to like, if two of us end up on the block, we're probably going to be like, oh, okay, they're coming for us. Got it. Like, but it's hard.
Who have you kept in touch with from your season?
I talk to Tiffany every day. That's my best friend. I love her to death. Um, I talk to Aza almost every day or like every other day. I talk to Xavier almost every week, once a week. And then, of course, Hannah and Kylan, I talked to them. I talked to Brittany. I just checked up on Frenchie the other day, and I do talk to Brent because I see Brent a lot at these events. I love Brent so much. I really do. And I'm so glad that me and him were able to, get closer, which actually I need to text him and check up on him and see how he's doing, actually. Um, but yeah, I mean, we do have a BB23 group chat that we do, message in where we're like, trying to help each other promote things or, happy birthdays to each other. And I do actually talk to Whitney. I talk to Whitney. I love Whitney. She's so good. I'm so glad that me and her were able to come together, but it really took a lot of growth from me. And, she also grew and we were able to reconnect at Hannah's graduation, and it felt like this could have been us a long time ago. And she's such a powerful woman, such a strong woman, and such a beautiful mother. Like, I just love how she loves her sons, and I love how she's just a hustler. I love that. I love that. So I definitely know I would love if there was ever an opportunity. I would love if I had to go and do like I don't know, rivals, right? For the challenge, I would love it was like me and Whitney, to be honest.
Well, that was my next question. We've seen almost half your cast appear in reality TV again. Have you been asked to do any of their shows, and what show would you be interested in doing?
I was in the running to do Ride or Die season challenge. The pickle was at first it wasn't supposed to be this ride or die theme. It was supposed to be another agent. So I was gonna be able to go in there by myself. But then they decided like maybe like a month and a half or 2 months before it was time to leave that they wanted to do this ride or die season. So, the person who was trying to help me at the time, the agent, he was trying to find me partners. He's like, we gotta find you partners. Then it's like the people they wanted me to be partners with, I couldn't be partners with because they were just on the challenge US1 and they weren't trying to have that like weird crossover. So they wanted me to be partners with Aza or Tiffany and Alyssa, and those people were already on the show. And then they tried to throw a curveball and try to make me partners with Davon, and I was like, I was cool with it because me and Davon have talked, but also we don't really like we ain't like kumbaya, like we ain't like best of friends. Like if it would be so random. But when they put some of these partners together, it is random. Um, so that was really hard because once Davon decided not to do it, I was dropped. So I was out of luck. And I'm not upset with her. I'm not mad with her. Like, do your own thing. We don't know each other like that to feel that type of way. Um, and then really that was it. I did get asked to do the challenge US1, but at the time they were telling me and telling us that we were gonna have to leave in Thanksgiving. And I was like, whoa, we just got home for Big Brother in October. Like, I'm mentally like still fucked up. Like, I can't do that. And then I turned it down, and then coming to find out, they pushed it to February, and then I was like, oh, I can do that, but I already turned it down. So, really, those are the only two. And I'm not really, if the challenge I don't think the challenge is a good fit for me. And the reason why I say that is because they're so focused on having these fitness gurus. And I wish they would go back to when it was just like all different type of reality stars, all different type of shapes, sizes, body frames. There was a little bit more physical stuff, a little bit more stuff where you have to be a little bit stronger, because even the guys that used to be stronger are now like cutting themselves to be more lean because they don't need the weight anymore. They got to be able to just run these crazy marathons and stuff. And it just feels like they're training for the Olympics. And I'm like, baby, I watch the Olympics every 4 years. I don't want to see Olympic players. I want to see messy ass reality stars. And if I got the chance to do that, I'm coming to bring everything. And if I ever have to go in something physical, I'm breaking people's necks straight up. I'm not. No, there's no holding back, because me going into these type of comps, I got something to prove, but it's also more kind of a little bit of shout out to the haters when I slam somebody on the ground. I'm like, oh, remember that? Big D slept the whole time. Let me show you who's sleeping now.
But you would definitely play Big Brother again.
I would. I would love to do if there is another, I will tell you the one thing I did enjoy that helped me fell back in love a little bit with Big Brother, which prepared me to get ready for this season. And it was BB Reindeer Games. I love that BB Reindeer Games was fun. It was during Christmas. It was during the holiday time. It was right to the point. Everybody was able to watch it. There wasn't like half the audience watching the live feeds, half of the audience watching the show. They brought back some alums, had some fun hosts to come in. I thought it was great. I really did enjoy it, and it was very fast paced. I would love to do BB Reindeer Games if they do it again. I hope they bring it back. I know for a fact if I do come back, I'm coming back as the Grinch. Um, and I also would love to do All Stars. If they have an All Star season, I would love to do it. I hope that Big Brother doesn't do what they normally do, which is like still pick the same old people over and over again. Like I love a lot of my friends. I love a lot of people in our community, but it's like, babe, there's over 400 players at this point that we could pick from, like that hasn't got a second chance to be on TV that would provide you what you need. So that's how I look at it.
Who is your BB26 winner pick?
I'm gonna stick by what I said. It is Tucker. I'm a little nervous when Tucker. I love his honesty. I love his straightforwardness. I hope he continues still playing that underneath the radar. I don't want him to get too cocky and do it and start outing like in front of people. If he doesn't do that, he'll be okay. But if he does do that, we're in trouble. I would say Tucker. If not, possibly it could be Brooklyn. It could be, you know, it could be one of those two. But I'm gonna stick by what I said in the beginning. I'm gonna say Tucker.
And do you have any upcoming projects or events that you're excited about to share with your fans?
No. Only thing I can say is that I've lost 40 pounds. I've been in the gym every day. Just getting myself together physically, like where I need to be. And nothing else. Just like I said, I recap Big Brother myself, with Tiffany and Hannah when she can. And I'll be recapping Survivor this fall. And hopefully Traders be coming out soon, be recapping that. Hopefully Traders will call me. That would be great. But yeah, I would say after these last 3 years, it took me a lot of time to heal. It was hard. What can I say, Josh? It was hard. It's hard when all the members in your alliance has got a chance to compete again and you still haven't competed again. And it kind of makes you feel like, what's wrong with me? Or is it because I'm big? Those are only things that go through my head because I've never seen somebody who comes close to winning and not getting a chance to get a second shot. So that's always hard. But my phone is right here. If any of these networks, TV shows want to actually call me and say, you know what, I want Big D on the show, I'm right here.
And that's why I called you. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to always catch up with you and get your thoughts on the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you so much, Josh, and shout out to you and everything you're doing. I know you're great. I appreciate all your support that you give us. We really do. And we'll have to check back in another 3 years. Maybe I'll be married and rich and living in a lavish. Maybe I'll be a housewife at this point. Maybe I'll be on Bravo. Yeah, Bravo, call me. I want the real money. Call me.
I'll be watching. Thank you.
Thank you.